And?
That's all you need to make me angry at you. You don't need to do that much. Just being an evil slave-keeping bastard's enough for me to, enough for you to earn my enmity.
Do the rest of us hear this?
Yeah, you're all traveling together.
And Beavis is loud.
Okay.
So you're just yelling this out in public?
I mean, yeah.
I mean, verbose language, not like screaming at the top of his lungs.
Yeah, I'm not trying to make everybody hear it, but I'm not naturally a subtle person, which should be clear by now.
Can't whispering it.
Yeah.
Wait, what do you mean by that exactly?
We, through a combination of youthful misunderstanding of the impossible, intelligence, and a healthy dose of luck, managed to create a sapient creature who was promptly inducted into service for the Black Glass family. If you had been here 10 years ago, you would not see the level of influence from the Black Blast that you see now, but through my youthful indiscretions and their lack of conscience, they've managed to gain quite the foothold.
So you guys made a sentient golem.
An astute observation, or an astute assumption.
Sounds radical, but why not just turn to necromancy?
Remember that whole evil thing I was talking about? I'm trying to avoid that.
Necromancy's not
Remember,
evil. Not if you do it right.
in this world, necromancy is not necessarily evil.
Well, no, not necessarily necromancy, but to co-opt a sapient creature spirit would be, regardless of how you do it.
Yeah, to basically pull a spirit from the nether and trap it into a golem, that is 100% evil.
Yeah.
Especially in Gaznek, where like spirits and like ancestors are viewed as like holy entities.
Yeah.
That would be fucking terrible and you'd be destroyed.
I like how you just like started dropping off.
The dwarves would basically kill you.
How did he?
Yep.
So you all saying that he enslaved this golem?
More that once he created it, he did not allow it the personal freedom that, in my opinion, all sapient creatures deserve. We were experimenting on his family's estates, and he's as much as I may hate him, I will say he's a genius, but he's a straightforward thinker. Without my influence, he would have never achieved the end result that was achieved, and so I will take as much responsibility as he does for the current captivity of what you could potentially call our son.
Well, I don't want to.
So you're upset that he has custody?
Yeah.
So does that mean you're like paying child support or something?
I'm paying. It's not monetary.
Paying child support for a potato?
His name is not Potato. I'm not going to decide my son's name.
It's Potato.
No, Nate called him Potato. I agreed in a joking manner, but when we meet
I
him,
agreed right there, and a lawyer would just chop you right there.
that's true. No, when we meet him, if Valium calls him Potato, I won't be personally offended, but I have not decided what his name is yet.
Okay.
It's Mr. Potato Head.
It's Mr. Potato to you.
Awesome.
Alrighty, well, I don't want to bug you about it too much since it seems to be a little bit of a sore subject, but if you could enlighten me on golems sometime, I'd be very appreciative of that.
I would be happy to, as long as you're not trying to create a sapient one. I've been burned in that regard before. Wait, why are you quiet? Are you trying to create a smart golem?
I was waiting for you to continue. I didn't really have anything to say at that point anyway. I was just like, wait, what am I getting accused of?
He's sensitive. It's a sensitive matter.
Oh, I understand that. That was not meant to be on the Australian accent. That was supposed to be. But
So what? Totally forgotten where we were walking while we were all yelling at each
You were
other.
headed to the Lightbringer's mansion, which is the Round Table College.
Okay. I want to inform them that as nice as these people may seem, you should know you're walking into a den of snakes. And if anybody rolls an insight on me, they can tell I'm full of shit. But
Okay, so I think that's the perfect time. Like, you get to the college and you open the doors, like, to walk through, and he's like, it's a den of snakes.
Yeah,
And
that passes
immediately,
still,
like, as the door opens, like, Beavis opens the door, you hear, brother! Oh my god! And, like, you see this little female gnome slide down the banister of one of the stairs. Like, it's got these big sweeping like front stairs, like Addams Family level like type shit, and she like slides down in a sundress, and immediately upon landing, like runs over and just straight up tackles Beavis, like straight on.
do I need to make like an athletics check? Or...
I'm gonna hand wave and say there's no fucking way that you're beating Shill. And this gnome, when you see her, she's wearing this almost like flowery, like Floridian girl sundress, like white or like kind of an ivory off-white kind of like sundress with flowers sewn into it. Her hair only comes about to like jaw level, like kind of in the I want to speak to a manager haircut. That killed Nate.
what?
It's nothing.
The I need to talk to your manager starter pack.
Yeah.
Except for it's dyed pink. Like hot pink.
Is that new or was it always like that?
Oh, that's so new for you. I mean, you've been gone for like 7
Yeah.
years. But she was not wearing that before. I mean, your sister's only like 20 now.
Which for a gnome is.
She's
I think
crazy young.
Yeah.
She's an infant as far as things go. But she was like 13 when you left. She was a teenager. And gnomes are known to be rebellious until the age of like 50. So, and she's the youngest of your family. She's always looked up to you. Like this is just I'm just filling in some background. Like you are the apple of her eye because like right when she started to reach her rebellious phase, that's when like all the shit went down with like your backstory. So like she's like, Beavis is the coolest, you know, kind of like thing ever, and like a number of like the gnome girls like thought you were super cute and stuff like that. So like she constantly had all of her little like gnomettes like super like into you at the time, and so like you were always like the jock gnome of the Lightbringer family as far as things were concerned.
Yeah, I have a strength of 8, so.
Oh yeah, muy fuerte. Yeah. But yeah, she comes like sliding down the banister and immediately upon hops off and just tackles you and gives you a big old kiss on the forehead.
I guess from the ground, I'll look up at the party and I'll be like, "See, den of snakes."
Yeah, exactly. and she just chuckles and she's like, "I'm no snake, brother. I didn't know that you were back. How have you been? Where have you been? Tell me everything." And like she's like on you, and she just does one of those like kind of like tell me everything, you know, like kind of like faces like staring down at your face.
Then we're gonna chatter at each other too quickly for the rest to understand, and they can just
in
kinda
gnomish,
leave.
just like clicks and
Yeah.
and whatnot. Yeah, so they're starting to catch up a little bit.
I'd like to do a tongue slither while this is going on.
The hell is that?
Like a snake.
Oh, okay.
You taste oil, things that have been burned far too much, like soldering, gnomes, and deep, dark earth and stone, wet stone,
And bread.
and bread, because Steven said so, and it's his home. Apparently, the Lightbringers really love their bread.
Who wouldn't?
And about that point, she goes, she pushes on you, Beavis, like one of those like full on like chest shoves, like to stand up. She's like, brother, check this out. And she immediately starts like weaving the spell. She slaps her hands together and start like you see these like strings pull, but it's like strings that have been wet through like a quick frost, so there's like ice kind of like dangling from them, almost like icicles. And then she slowly turns it and starts shaping the icicles and strings, like weaving and bending it all until it creates what, as far as you guys can understand, is almost like an ice elemental. And she holds it on her hand and she goes, dance. And it starts to do like a kind of like a 1940s, like,
where did you come from?
putting on the Ritz Young Frankenstein type dance on her hand.
Oh, like that dancing frog?
Put on the Ritz! Yeah, exactly. Kind of thing.
I'll say, oh, that's fantastic. Next
Beavis,
time we
you know-
run into some orcs, I could probably
Beavis.
use you.
Roll me an Arcana check.
Where's my arcana? A high. I rolled high.
This shit is crazy advanced. Like the fact that she can manipulate it like shorthand and summon elementals, basically.
Yeah, I think I like just learned how to do that.
She's a prodigy. Like you were probably like 50 when you learned to do this. She's a teenager, like barely in her. Well, she just got through her 20s. She was a teenager when you last saw her, and she has surpassed. I mean,
And I want to look at
it's Lightbringer
Valar.
knowledge. I mean, conjuring is Lightbringer level, but you just instantly you're like, fuck, like the
I wanna
power that she has. Is
Look at Valar and say like, wow, that would have been useful when we were facing off against those orc guards, right?
I mean,
'Cause
yeah.
It took me a while to distract them. She could have done it no problem.
Uh-huh. I mean, you can sub her out for you. That's what you're saying.
And yeah, she immediately dissipates in the ice golem, the ice elemental, and it like starts like chinkling down like with like kind of a wind chimey sound onto the ground. And she looks at like Valar when you say that, and she goes, no one's as cool as my bro. She kind of like hooks an arm around you, like, I got you.
Alright, so now I've made you an enemy, Valar. I'm sorry.
Riley stuffles a laugh. There's stifles.
A Slytherin.
I'll calm her. I'll like kind of put my hand out and be like, no, he looks scary, but as far as I can tell, he's a nice guy.
Wait, who are you saying that about?
She
Valar.
looks over at you with a slight tilt, and she goes, looks like he's lived in the deeps his entire life.
I know, right? I totally thought he was evil, but I think he's not.
And she gives this like deep intellectual like young person frown, and she goes, evil is a relative term.
Hey.
I thought he was relatively evil.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And then she quickly like smiles, and she goes, fair enough.
This is probably a tough place for Valar and Valiant because gnomes are so blunt. Like, I'm just talking about how I thought he was evil right in front of him.
Yeah. And she goes, have you come to see Papa?
No, we're trying to solve a murder. Let's go. And I grab
She like frowns, and then she lifts, and she's like, wait, you mean the one where the students got killed?
Yep, come with us. Maybe you can
Very
help.
same.
She goes, I know exactly where it was. And she quickly she darts out the door. She's like, follow me, and like she like shoots out the door.
And yeah, I thought Beavis had a lot of energy.
Yeah.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
the calm one in the family.
yeah. At least within his generation.
Yeah.
Beavis, how many family do you have? I just wrote in a sister because I didn't know.
I was picturing a shit ton. I'm talking like old school Irish Catholic.
So like 15-ish.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like a lot. Like Weasley level. I'll look at Thorgil and I'll say like, you better follow
Leo
her. She's
lived
gonna
like
come back for you.
900 years or 800.
Yeah, so